guys, welcome back to another episode of Restoration Talks. And in this episode, we have a special guest. His name is Neftali Melendez. Neftali, how are you?
Pleasure to be here.
So Neftali is actually a indoor quality assessor. Did I say that right?
Correct.
Is that the technical term?
A mold assessor, correct.
Mold assessor. Okay, awesome. So Neftali is actually here with us to talk about mold assessment and really a lot of questions that revolve around mold testing. Now, as you know, we are a restoration company at United Water Restoration Group. And for those of you who don't know, we actually don't assess our own jobs because it's actually against Florida state law, which is the main state we operate in, for us to not only write the protocol and obviously do the work itself. So we invited our guest, Neftali, here to talk about some of the common questions that you guys have brought up on our blog, things that we've seen online, and we just kind of wanted to clear up some of the misconceptions that most people have. So, Neftali, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the business, and all the good stuff like that?
I've been in the restoration business for over 7 years. I opened up NJM Solutions about 2 years ago, started doing mold inspections. What we specialize is mold inspections, mold assessments, air quality assessments, mold remediation protocols, mold sanitation protocols. We even do water damage assessments and quality control inspections for water damages.
Wow, that's a lot of different roles.
Yes.
Now let me ask you a couple of questions. So we a lot of people really don't know why they would need to call an air quality assessor. What are the most common causes typically that you've seen?
Well, if you have any water intrusion in your home and you have water damage in your home, there's a possibility that you might have microbial growth growing in the home. Obviously, you don't want mold spores to be, elevated and contaminating the area. So it's obviously when you have a mold issue, it's recommended to have a mold assessor come out to the property, do the testing, do the inspections, document everything, and do a mold remediation protocol. And after the mold remediation is done, we come back out there and do a PRV inspection, which stands for post-remediation verification. So we do a second inspection to make sure everything was done properly. We do we do some more testing, whether it will be swab or aerosol test. Once we get the results back, we take a look at them. If everything looks good, the customer gets a PRV certificate indicating that the home is ready for reconstruction.
Now that's actually obviously very important because with mold, mold is one of those, it's a microbial kind of element that you really can't see, and things like that can spread pretty quickly.
Correct. Mold affects people differently. It affects the younger, the kids, the elderly, people with immune deficiency issues. The symptoms could be cold-like symptoms, headaches, ratchy skin, sore throats. So those can be indication of mold exposure when we go out to the home. That's one of the first things that we do when we go to a home is have an interview with the customer to find out if they are having any of these any symptoms, during our inspection.
Now, what would you say to somebody who may want to skip that and just kind of maybe do their own thing or?
No, I would not recommend that. You always want to, get that checked out, especially if it's colonizing. You see it visible. You always want to get it checked out. If it's over 10 square feet, the state of Florida requires for you to have a mold assessor in your home and do the testing and do the mold remediation protocol. The water remediation company cannot touch the job and cannot do any mold remediation without having the testing and the report from an assessor like myself.
Now, I have a question. So, I think one of the reasons why people may even come up in conversation is, they're afraid of the costs. But I kind of look at that as hey, you're paying a little bit now to save a lot later. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. It's your home, it's your health. So, I don't think cost should be an issue, especially if you have kids in the home, elderly people in the home. Cost should not be an issue. Health, you can't put a price on your health. And it could be dangerous. You could have Stachybotrys in the home. You can have Fusarium. You can have Shanantonium. These are types of mold spores that create mycotoxins. So those are definitely the type of mold spores that you don't want in the home.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty dangerous situation,
Correct.
especially. And I agree with you. I think you really can't put a price on your health, right? I mean, even if it costs a couple $100, to get somebody out and get something tested, in the long term, it's obviously well worth it, right?
And it's not only that. I mean, with the mold inspection, you also get the second inspection, the PRV inspections, that indicates that the work area is free of microbial growth and the mold spores are at acceptable levels. And you can begin the reconstruction process, and you have a peace of mind that everything it was done correctly and is in good standings.
Now, talking about costs, is mold inspection something that is typically covered by insurance?
Yes, if it's a covered claim by the insurance company, by the carrier, it is normally covered by the carrier. 95% of the policies in the state of Florida, they have a $10,000 cap, so they are covered with mold. We live in the state of Florida, so it is covered by the carrier if it's a covered loss.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's so it's almost like you really don't have a reason not to do it, right? Because I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's not only are you protecting yourself, but you're also giving yourself ammunition with the insurance that hey, you actually have a problem, right?
Correct. I mean, in the state of Florida, it has to be over 10 square feet of visible mold. Sometimes, you go to a home and the customer is complaining about issues and things like that. When we go do the inspections, we check the AC system to make sure, to see if it's dirty or not. If it's less 10 square feet of mold, I kind of would suggest, not to do the air quality testing because that's another expense that the customer doesn't need. But if it's over 10 square feet, yes, we will go ahead and recommend the inspection to be done.
That's actually really great advice. Now, I have some questions. I've read questions online of people, saying that, hey, they don't necessarily see the mold, but they smell it. Would that be a scenario in which you would want to get somebody out?
Correct. I mean, if you're suspecting it, you're smelling it, you're having symptoms, yes, definitely you want somebody to come out. Just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. 99% of the times, if you don't see it, it could be behind a wall because of a water intrusion event in the roof that you're not seeing. Or, I mean, it could be the AC system. There could be the ducts are not wrapped, they're not insulated properly. That can create some condensation in the duct system, and that can create the microbial growth to grow and spread throughout the home. So yes, I mean, definitely, if you're smelling it and you don't feel well, yes, you have to give a mold inspector a call to do the mold inspection.
Now, I hear oftentimes some of our clients or even some of our prospects that even call and ask, about air quality testing. One of the things I hear is, hey, is there like an acceptable level of mold? I mean, no mold is for the most part it's normal, but obviously there is a threshold where it's like, okay, you have a problem.
Yes, according to the EPA, the Emergency Protection Environmental Protection Agency, there is no acceptable mold spore levels in a home. But we use guidelines from different associations like NORMI. Basically, the mold spore counts inside the home should be below 2,000 mold spore counts and 0 target molds, which is Stachybotrys, Fusarium, San Antonio. These are the mold species that create mycotoxins. So we use those baselines to make our judgments to see if there's an issue going on. The interview process is very important, obviously, with the customer. We want to find out, what's going on in the property, how are they feeling, are they having any allergic reactions. So the interview process is very, very important. Now,
talking about the process, can you tell us a little bit about or walk us through what a customer can expect, when you actually get into the home? Like, what does that testing process look like?
Well, we'll go into the home, obviously introduce ourselves, walk into, if it's a water damage event, a water intrusion event, I mean, the customer will lead us to the area. We'll do inspections. We'll do a moisture inspection. I mean, we'll document with photos all the damaged areas. We will go ahead and take an air quality sample in the affected area. If there's visible microbial growth, we will take a swab sample to compare it. Once that area is done, we'll go ahead and take the samples to the lab. Usually we get the results back between 24 hours. Once we get the results back, we will be able to see, what's in the air quality, what's the species of mold that's in the air, and in the swab sample on the wall or carpet or whatever component might be damaged. Once we get the results back, we'll go ahead and start creating the mold remediation protocol. On the mold remediation protocol is basically a report. It will have the photo of the property, your name, address. It will have a visual inspection paragraph indicating what we saw, what was happening. It will have the sample results, the species of microbial growth that was discovered, and it will also have the scope of work, which is what actually needs to be removed. Baseboards, carpet, drywall, laminate flooring, wood flooring, kitchen cabinets, kitchen vanity. Whatever we find during the inspections, we recommend to be removed because of the mold issue or the water damage issue.
Wow, that's been very, very informative. I mean, really, I almost see, as the work that you do, almost you're an ally with the homeowner. I mean, you're really looking out for them.
Definitely, our report kind of documents everything. You have two documentations. You have the water mitigation documentation, and then you have the mold assessor documentation. So everything matches, matches the damages that were there. So, and then you have the testing results that, you can't deny that. And so that's very, very important.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, you essentially have this, at the end of the day, you set a protocol for the whatever restoration company you end up working with. You have a process for them to follow, and it basically ensures that you get a quality job at the end of the day.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has all been very, very informative. Where can people reach out to you in the event they need indoor quality testing of any kind?
The name of my company is NJM Solutions Inc. Mold Inspections. You can reach me at 321-355-7700. You can look me up on Facebook, NJM Solutions Inc. You can look me up on Google, and you can look me up on my website, njmsolutionsincfl.com.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Naftali. And of course, if you have any issues with water damage, mold, fire restoration, any of those kinds of needs, definitely check out United Water Restoration Group. We're available 24/7 to service you. And of course, we're a national franchise. So depending on what state you're watching this from, we may have a franchise location near you. And I want to thank you again, Naftali.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
been amazing. So I want to thank you, the viewer, for watching us and receiving this great information. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Restoration.